Hello and a happy new year, nearly. In a few hours it will be 2015. I'm not one for making New Year's resolutions, mainly because I'm far too lazy to keep them. I have tried before and I set out with good intentions, but by the middle of January I just give up really. So I'm not going to bother this year. But I did come across something when I was browsing on Pinterest yesterday, and it is a 2015 book challenge. And as you know, I do like reading, and I like reading things that I wouldn't normally have read. I've tried this year to branch out into various different genres and different styles, different authors, and I found some really, really good books that I possibly wouldn't have tried previously. So this book challenge comes from a website called PopSugar, and I will put the linky link down below if you want to check it out. And it suggests 50 different types of books to read over the next year. And when I pick my books, I generally walk through the library and I'll pick up something with an interesting cover, or if a customer's bought something back and I have a look at the blurb. And if that's interesting, then I'll take that home. But there's no real pattern or anything to it. I just pick up things that I like. So with this challenge, it will give me a little bit more structure and something to kind of aim for and look for when I'm choosing my books. So I'm quite excited to start this. Although reading through the list, I realised that some books may fit into a couple of categories. But I will try to pick separate books that fit in with each category. So like I say, I will link it to you down below. The website does give you a link to download a lovely printable, tick-offable list, so you can tick off every time you read a book from one of these categories on the list. You can tick it off so you can check to see your progress. But I will just read out to you the different categories for this challenge. So if you are interested, at least you'll know what you're getting yourself into. So, there's quite a few, so bear with me. A book with more than 500 pages, a classic romance, a book that became a movie, a book published this year, I guess that means 2015, a book with a number in the title, a book written by somebody under 30, a book with non-human characters, a funny book, a book by a female author, a mystery or a thriller, a book with a one-word title, a book of short stories, a book set in a different country, a non-fiction book, a popular author's first book, a book from an author you love that you haven't read yet, a book a friend recommended, a Pulitzer Prize-winning book, a book based on a true story, a book at the bottom of your to-read list, a book your mum loves, a book that scares you, a book more than 100 years old, a book based entirely on its cover, a book you were supposed to read in school but didn't, a memoir, a book you can finish in a day, a book with antonyms in the title, a book set somewhere you've always wanted to visit, a book that came out the year you were born, a book with bad reviews, a trilogy, a book from your childhood, a book with a love triangle, a book set in the future, a book set in a high school, a book with a colour in the title, a book that made you cry, a book with magic, a graphic novel, a book by an author you've never read before, a book you own but have never read, a book that takes place in your hometown, a book that was originally written in a different language, a book set during Christmas, a book written by an author with your same initials, a play, a banned book, a book based on or turned into a TV show, a book you started but never finished. So that's quite an interesting list of different types of books to read. I've now kind of started thinking about different things that I want to read this year. So it's quite exciting. And if you want to join in with the challenge, leave me some comments down below of what you're planning on reading or what you've read, or if you've got any suggestions for me that fit into any of these categories. So every time I post a book review, I will explain which category it comes from. So hopefully this year coming up, I will be reading a lot more different, interesting, varied books. I mean, things like non-fiction. I don't read non-fiction, so that'll be interesting. A play. I haven't read a play since I was at university, many, many years ago. So there's lots and lots of different things to read. I'm interested to find a book by an author who's got the same initials as me. I hadn't even thought about trying anything like that. So there's some really, really interesting things on there, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. So like I say, let me know if you're joining in with this challenge, and every time I post a book review video or whatever, let me know what you think, and let me know what you've chosen for that category, and hopefully we can share our love of books and our thoughts about them. So yeah, so I'm off to find some new books. So have a really good new year, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.